An African-American man visited a high-end car dealership where a salesman treated him with contempt, completely ignoring the fact that he was the brand new owner of the place. What happened next was an unforgettable lesson about the power of respect and the importance of equality. Join us until the end to discover how this powerful story unfolds. And remember to subscribe to the channel and share in the comments where you're watching from. On the busy streets of Manhattan, vehicles often mark the social status of their drivers. Elegant SUVs, sedans, and luxury sports cars attracted glances at every turn. Among the most prestigious dealerships, Imperial Cars was known as one of the most exclusive, recognized for offering high-performance cars to celebrities, businessmen, and the wealthy elite. That morning, everything seemed to be going as usual. Salesmen adjusted their ties and flashed impeccable smiles to greet their elite clientele. However, no one imagined that this day would mark the beginning of a momentous change. Marcus Johnson, a 39-year-old businessman of African descent, had recently acquired Imperial Cars. As the owner of a successful technology company, Marcus had always had a passion for automobiles. Marcus had a great passion for automobiles, but his decision to buy the dealership was far more than just a personal whim. He was fully aware of how such places often judge people by their appearance. Determined to transform it into a space where everyone was treated with dignity and respect, Marcus decided to visit Imperial Cars unannounced. Dressed simply in jeans, sneakers, and a black t-shirt, he wanted to see how the staff treated a customer who didn't fit the stereotype of a millionaire. As he entered the showroom, he noticed the stairs. Walking calmly through the space, he observed the luxurious models perfectly lined up. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and Bugattis gleaming as if they had just left the factory. When Marcus approached one of the vehicles, he was greeted by Ethan Reed, a Caucasian salesman in his 40s, impeccably dressed in a high-end suit. Ethan exuded the confidence of someone convinced of his importance at the dealership. "What can I do for you?" Ethan asked, his tone laced with judgment. "Yes, in fact," Marcus replied, pointing to a Lamborghini Huracan Spider worth over $700,000. "I am interested in this model," Marcus said. Ian looked him up and down before replying, "It is one of our most exclusive cars. Are you sure you belong here?" Marcus frowned slightly but remained calm. "I'm absolutely sure," he replied. Ian forced a smile and crossed his arms. "To conduct something like this, we need to make sure you understand the financial commitment involved. This isn't something for just anyone." Faced with Ian's obvious contempt, Marcus decided to push forward. "Don't worry about me. I'd like to take it for a test drive," he said firmly. Ian chuckled dismissively, as if the request itself was absurd. "I'll check it out, but we don't give test drives to just anyone," he said before walking away. Marcus noticed Ian mumbling something to a colleague, who turned to give Marcus a mocking glance. The moment was strangely familiar to Marcus, who had been underestimated many times in his life. A few minutes later, Ian returned, still exuding a condescending attitude. "Unfortunately, that car isn't available for a test drive right now," Ian said with a smirk. "Perhaps you'd prefer to see something more affordable." Marcus crossed his arms and asked pointedly, "Why do you suppose I can't afford it?" Ian shrugged. "No reason. I'm just being realistic. These cars are more geared towards a particular type of customer." Marcus took a deep breath and replied, "And what exactly do you mean by a particular type of customer?" Ian hesitated but quickly tried to justify his behavior. "Only customers with a proven track record," he began, but Marcus cut him off with a sharp glare. As Ian walked away, a Latina administrative assistant named Valentina Rivera discreetly approached Marcus. "Can I help you?" she asked, her warm smile sincere. Marcus looked at her, nodding. "It seems like service here is only for the right people," he remarked dryly. Valentina sighed, visibly uncomfortable. "I'm very sorry. This isn't the first time I've seen Ian behave this way. He thinks he has the power to decide who deserves to be served," she explained. Marcus acknowledged Valentina's sincerity with a small smile. "Do you think the manager would approve of this kind of treatment?" he asked. Valentina hesitated for a moment before replying, "The manager is somewhat accommodating, but he's also reasonable. If you talk to him, maybe—" Marcus thanked Valentina, but decided he needed to handle the situation differently. Determined, he stood by the car, waiting for Ian to return. When Ian approached, Marcus addressed him directly. "I still want to drive this car. Is it available or not?" Visibly annoyed, Ian shook his head. "I will not authorize this test drive. I can show you something more affordable instead." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Are you suggesting I'm not suitable for this car?" Ian forced a smile. "No, that's not what I mean. I'm just trying to save you the trouble." Marcus looked at him steadily before replying, "Then I'll save you some time. I want to speak to the manager, now." Minutes later, the dealership manager, Richard King, arrived in the room, looking puzzled as he approached Marcus, who stood firm. "Is there a problem?" Richard asked. "Yes, there is," Marcus replied calmly. "I am Marcus Carter, the new owner of this dealership. Today I came to observe how customers are treated, and your employee here has failed miserably." An awkward silence filled the room. Ian stood motionless, his face pale, while Valentina looked at Marcus with admiration. "The new owner?" Ian stammered. "Exactly," Marcus confirmed. "And now I want to talk about how this place will be run from now on." Richard immediately apologized. "Mr. Carter, I am deeply sorry for what happened. I wasn't aware you would be visiting us today." Marcus crossed his arms. "It doesn't matter who I am. What matters is that all customers should be treated with dignity." Turning to Ian, Marcus added, "And clearly you don't understand that." He took a deep breath before continuing. "What happened here today was not just a customer service error. It reflects an outdated mentality that has no place in this dealership." The room fell silent. Ian stammered, "I was just doing my job. It wasn't personal." Marcus stepped closer, his tone firm. "Not personal. You looked at me and judged me based on my appearance, assuming I couldn't afford this car. You disrespected me and everyone else who has ever been unfairly judged by people like you." Ian glanced around the room, searching for support, but none of his colleagues stepped forward to defend him. "Mr. Carter, I can change," Ian pleaded. "It was just a misunderstanding." "Change is crucial," Marcus replied, "but you've already demonstrated that you're not fit to represent the values I want for this dealership. Pack up your things." Ian hesitated, but realizing he had no alternative, he quietly walked away. The room was left with an atmosphere of respect and awe for Marcus's decisive actions. After Ian's departure, Marcus turned to the rest of the team. "This dealership now has a bigger mission. I want every person who walks through these doors to feel respected and valued, no matter their appearance or attire. Starting today, everyone here must understand that the customer is more than just a sale. They are the reason for our existence." Addressing Valentina, Marcus continued, "Valentina, your attitude today demonstrated exactly what I want this dealership to represent. That's why I'm promoting you to supervisor." Valentina couldn't hide her astonishment. "Me? A supervisor?" "Yes, you," Marcus confirmed. "You showed empathy, professionalism, and integrity in a challenging situation." Weeks later, the dealership reopened with a renewed team and a philosophy focused on respect and inclusion. Marcus organized a community event to demonstrate that Imperial Cars was now a place accessible to all. In an interview with a magazine, Marcus concluded, "Luxury isn't measured by price but by respect. That's what this place represents today. It teaches us that change begins when we have the courage to face what's wrong." What would you have done in Marcus's place? Subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories and share your thoughts in the comments.